A series of geopolitical shocks is forcing a fundamental rethink in Europe. Speaking at the World Economic Forum in Davos, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said the European Union must build a more independent and self-reliant Europe. She stressed that global disruptions are not temporary, but a permanent shift in the world order. As part of that strategic reset, the EU is accelerating efforts to diversify trade partnerships. Von der Leyen said the bloc is on the verge of concluding a free trade agreement with India, dubbed as the mother of all deals. If finalized, the pact would create a combined market of nearly 2 billion people, accounting for close to 25% of global GDP.
And right after Davos, the next weekend, I will travel to India. There's still work to do, but we are on the cusp of a historic trade agreement. Indeed, some call it the mother of all deals. One that would create a market of 2 billion people, accounting for almost a quarter of global GDP. And crucially, that would provide a first-mover advantage for Europe, with one of the world's fastest growing and most dynamic continents.
Decades in the making, India-EU negotiations were relaunched in July 2022 after a pause since 2013. The agreement includes 24 chapters, with 20 already finalized, and represents a major step in strengthening economic ties between India and the EU. Under the deal, India is set to gain market access in labor-intensive sectors including textiles, footwear, and gems and jewelry, while the EU will secure entry for automobiles, wines, and high-tech manufacturing products. Investment commitments remain central, with previous agreements such as the EFTA Pact pledging $100 billion in investments over 15 years. The deal also introduces provisions for long-term regulatory certainty and FDI, with sectors like telecom and insurance already seeing similar arrangements under past agreements. Sensitive sectors such as agriculture and dairy have been shielded to protect farmers and small producers. The Trade Pact also addresses broader strategic interests, including shared concerns over China's dominance in critical technologies. Bilateral trade between India and the EU reached $90.7 billion in the 2024-25 fiscal year, with India exporting $51 billion and importing $39.7 billion.